Okay, this is only like my 7th time trying to record this. And it's kind of funny considering the video. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm so excited for this one because in this video, we are discussing how to break negative cycles, negative patterns in your life, and how to do it successfully, okay? This video is for anyone who is in the midst of watching a circumstance happen over and over again and you're trying to break that pattern. The first thing that is going to be imperative in breaking a cycle is giving it less power. And how you do that is you stop calling it negative. And it sounds simple, right? Don't call it negative, but it's really true. So the first thing that you do is you stop calling it negative. And I want you to think about this practically. Once you stop calling it a negative pattern, you automatically lessen the power of it. This is one of the biggest, I think that this was the biggest pivotal moment of my weight loss journey, because once I stopped defining food as good or bad and I started seeing food as nourishment and just energy in general, it allowed me to have way more control over what I was consuming. And I stopped eating emotionally. I stopped eating for the sake of emotional reasons, and I started eating for reasons to make me feel better, and feel better in a physical sense, not in an emotional sense. I stopped giving things power. If you don't care about something, that is way more powerful than giving it fear or giving it a lot of attention. Does that make sense? Another example is, because I want to be very clear with this, celebrities. Paparazzis, they have this duty or this responsibility to publicize certain celebrities. And the more you see them and the more you talk about them, the more you feed into this energy. And it's the same way going the other way around. Publicity is publicity. So even if they're saying a lot of hate speech and they're saying a lot of mean things about the celebrity, them talking about the celebrity and giving hate is still talking about them. It's still going to give the same effect of making them more popular. But if people all together were just like, we don't care. We don't care anymore. Indifference is such a powerful state of being neutral and being okay with yourself in your life circumstance. That is extremely powerful. Indifference, satisfaction, acceptance, okay? So getting to this emotional state where it doesn't really bother you, that's where we're trying to get in this video. So going back to the first point, we're going to lessen the power of this belief, of this pattern. So if something's happening over and over again, I'm always getting into a fight with my cat. You know, I love my cat. She's amazing. By the way, I have an amazing cat. But if you have like a crazy cat and you're going into this negative cycle and it just constantly occurs over and over again, how do you break that? Well, it's not by you feeding it and getting more and more and more upset, because what you resist persists. It's more so about accepting it, understanding the circumstance for what it is, saying, okay, this is what it is, and then going to the end. And this is where I want to bring Neville Goddard in, because he talks about this, right? He talks about this state of going to the end. So the first thing that we're doing, again, we are giving this less power because we are realizing our true power. Okay, if I created this circumstance, and that means that it doesn't have power over me, I have power over it. So we're gonna lessen the importance of this pattern. We're not gonna call it negative anymore, because who knows? What if this negative pattern is benefiting me in some way? What if this negative pattern is allowing me to learn something that I can use later on and even use as a testimony? What if? Okay, all negative circumstances now, or let's just say that it's this pattern, This pattern now has become your testimony and is a part of the story, and we are now not giving it the power. We're not letting it bother us in that same way. So this is how you're ultimately going to move forward, because sometimes it's easier to say, right? It's easier to say than to do, than to look at a circumstance and not see it for what it is, or to ignore it, right? But we're not ignoring circumstances. We're not. Actually, ignoring a circumstance is a manifestation of a belief that you are unable to face the giant, so to speak. Also, my cat is at the door. Let me get her real quick. Okay, so we are not trying to create a state of resistance, right? We don't want to keep suppressing these emotions. What we're going to do instead is we're going to accept the circumstance for what it is, and we're going to direct our focus in a different area. Okay, that happened. Now we're going to do this, because you have control of your circumstance in a moment-to-moment basis. It's not what happened in the past or even what's happening in the future. It's all based on the current moment. So if you can accept, for whatever reason, and of course there's revision, which will be for a different video, but if you're accepting, okay, this used to be my pattern, but now we're going to focus in on something else. We're going to focus in on this new story, and we're going to have a mental diet on this story. And this is where Neville comes in. He says, first, define your objective, not the manner of obtaining it, but your objective, pure and simple. Know exactly what it is you desire so that you have a clear mental picture of it. Secondly, take your attention away from the obstacles which separate you from your objective and place your thought on the objective itself. Thirdly, close your eyes and feel that you are already in the city or state that you would capture. This chapter was talking about Jericho and that entire story in the Bible, but it's the same idea. Any noun, any person, place, or thing, you can apply it to that. So let me just repeat this. Thirdly, close your eyes and feel that you are already in the city or state that you would capture. Remain within this psychological state until you get a conscious reaction of complete satisfaction in this victory. Then, by simply opening your eyes, return to your former conscious state. Some people think that it takes a lot of effort, a lot of even physical effort to obtain certain desires. And what Neville Goddard is trying to say in this specific instance is that you impressing the subconscious mind, when you are doing that and you are going into the end result, when you do it each time, feeling it real, and I'm actually going to post a video on how to visualize things effectively and how to use your imagination. That's coming up next. But when you are creating this imaginal act and you're quite truly, you are going into a different reality in your imagination, when you are accessing that part of reality for yourself, you are feeling it real, and your subconscious mind does not know the difference. This should be very exciting to know, because when you realize that your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's happening in real life and then what's happening in your imagination, then you can start to it will actually naturally let go of old patterns. So the first thing, stop calling it negative, because it may not be negative. It may be helping you reach your desired end result. The more power you give the negative circumstance, the more it will remain. Part B to this, stop complaining. So stop complaining. I'm just gonna leave it there, okay? So stop calling it negative and stop complaining. Then the second thing, you're going to go to the end result. And when you go to the end result, that is going to help you greatly. It's going to help you greatly in trying to conjure up that feeling and stay in a psychological state of already having it. A lot of people talk about affirmations. Affirmations will get you there. Smelling something into existence, feeling something into existence, like tactile. Again, I'm making a video on how to properly imagine, but when you give yourself that feeling, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between the two. And this is ultimately going to bring you into the state. And once you keep revisiting that state, AKA mental diet, when you revisit that state, you'll realize that you broke the pattern, and it's because you didn't put attention on it. It's because you weren't beating yourself up about it. It's because you actually weren't resisting it anymore. You just renounced it. And there is a difference. Neville Goddard has also talked about this too. There's a difference between resisting something and renouncing it. Resisting looks like this. I don't want this. I don't want this. This is stupid. I'm so tired. I'm so sick and tired of seeing this. Oh my God, why is this in my life? As opposed to renouncing something, you say, ooh, I don't like that. Would rather not. I would rather do this. Let's do this instead. Oh my gosh, this looks so fun. I can't believe I have the opportunity to do this. Yes, I'd like to keep focusing on this. It's literally turning the cheek. So I hope that this helps with breaking a negative pattern. And when you focus your attention on the end result, nothing really truly matters, because you focusing on the end result will feel so good to you when you imagine for the sake of imagining. And again, he says this, define your objective, not in the manner of obtaining it. Not in the manner of obtaining it. So imagine for the sake of imagining. Imagine so that you can ultimately feel good about yourself. When you ultimately feel good about yourself and you feel abundant, then the circumstances reflect this inner feeling. This inner feeling is now reflected into the outer world. Okay? I hope that this has been helpful. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.